Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to Hopes and Harmony. I am Sylvia.
And this is Ebony. And today there is a special
Season finale.
No.
Not a season finale?
No.
Oh.
This is episode 19.
Oh, it's episode 19.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have one more.
That one's gonna be fun.
Yes. You'll see a lot on that one. But
That
anyways,
one's gonna be a good one.
yes. So we are actually going to be painting today while we talk and do the shenanigans.
And reflect on this season and reflect on ourselves and how much we've grown this season.
I gotta keep these lips.
These are cute colors, by the way, Mika.
You know, a lot of them are the ones I used for the painting I did for you for Valentine's Day.
Oh, you bought them? You went out and bought individually?
Yeah.
Where?
Walmart.
How
El
much-
Walmart.
How much are each of them?
I don't know, like 90 cents maybe? Or $1? I don't know. That's a pretty purple.
That's a
Like
pretty
a lavender.
purple. Wait, so how do we want to do these paintings? Do you want to do like that one that we did where you do one and I do one? Or should we do an affirmation for each other and like write it and then whoever like at the end we just give it to each other?
And actually you can't see it,
No.
but you're right next to me.
Nah, you next to me.
You next to me.
Okay, that's not the...
Because then you can't, then I have to go like this.
Or maybe we'll know our affirmation and then we'll reveal it at the end.
An affirmation in a painting?
Yeah, like an affirmation for you and an affirmation for me. Like we really gotta think about like maybe what has these past couple of months been for us, and like how do we just affirm each other and like how has just like the last couple of months been.
So like how for me and then how for you?
Yeah,
So
but like
affirmation.
so I'll make an affirmation for you even though you see it, but then at the end we'll reveal and we'll like say it.
So like
you affirm me, you say something nice about me,
but in a painting,
or just like put it at the bottom, make a picture, you know, or do whatever you want at the end of the day.
Okay.
No, do whatever you want, man. I don't want to make this complicated for you.
Oh.
Do you want to do a picture for us, or do you want to just make a picture in general, or do you want to set an intention for November?
Okay.
What do you want to do? Tell me, I'm all ears. You know, I just go in with
Just a painting of
full
where you're at or what you want for November.
Okay.
Well, same thing, I guess. You just gotta simplify things for me.
Yeah, whatever you want. I'm right there with you.
Trash.
Me or the trash? Me or the trash?
I am the trash, you said?
No,
I am not trash.
No, me or the trash. Like my
I
trash
will be
for saying that.
activated.
Aww. But that's what we're doing, I guess. We're gonna create. We have no idea. We're just free flowing today.
Yep. Got it.
Okay. Alright, Amiga, let's start reflecting. Or let's reflect on our first episode. Our first episode came out 2 months ago. It's called Sylvia's birthday. So, woo me. That's what
That was the first one?
Yeah, it was for August 12th. Oh, yeah, episode 11, August 12th.
Oh, yeah, huh?
So it was the day after my birthday.
Okay.
So remember this episode was like I had just gone through a lot. It was like, I think that was literally when we started was a crazy time for me. Like, cause literally it was my birthday and then the next day we filmed and like, I was just dealing with shit, like a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything had just changed. Like that moment, everything had just changed for me. Like, and so like thinking about that to now, I'm just like, that's kind of crazy. Like how much I've changed, how much like, you know. If it was some of your brushes, you didn't wash them?
I tried maybe.
Crunchy.
I tried. I don't even know if I was the last person to use them or my sister was. To be very honest with you. But yeah, they probably need work. There's another one. Okay, so they're all like that.
They all look pretty hard.
That's what she said.
All of them are hard.
I'm so glad
came through.
You all came through. Episode 1. All right. So
Where were you?
I just, you know what? I just remember me trying to be very intentional with your gifts.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And I wanted to make it nice and like, yeah, I just want to be very intentional.
And I think that meant a lot for me because I think I was going through a lot. I think even during that gift, remember, amiga, that was also the time that the lady had come up to me.
Was it?
Yeah, because I think we talked about it in that episode. I think, or maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't think it was.
No, it was after?
I think it was after, yeah.
But I think I for sure I kept receiving gifts like that. Just like, hey, you're supported, you're loved. Like, I just kept getting those at that time. And it was just really nice, like, for me to know, like, I have a really good team of people. I have a really good relationship with people. Like, it was the first time I knew and knew I deserved healthy relationships.
I think it also was a thing of, like, for me at least, like, understanding the idea of reciprocated energy, because I feel like a lot of times you give without really, like, expecting in return. And I think for me it made me understand that, like, when I do things, it's because I feel a certain way. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Like, because, like, when I do them and I don't know I'm really doing them for a reason, I just feel like, oh, like, I'm actually putting a little bit more effort into this for the most part, because I feel something in return that I wasn't aware of, like that. So now I'm doing it unintentionally, but unintentionally. I don't know if that makes any sense.
So
what you're saying is...
So what you're trying to tell me... What I'm hearing is... No, so it's like you're... Like, in me, you saw, like, you don't always have to have a reason to do things. Or you understood that for you only really move in a certain way for people that, like, you truly care for. Like, you'll put in the work because you've seen, like, okay, like, at least for me specifically, like, you've seen that I've been there, I've been consistent with you, I've always kept up with, like, how are you, you know, just, like, making sure you were good, always taking care of you.
Exactly. So I think, like, I understood, like, oh, me doing this was because you did that for me. Without knowing, like, that's the reason. At the time, not knowing, I became aware of it at that moment. Like, oh, this is the way, kind of, like, I mean, I knew I'm very, like, for the most part reciprocated, but then I think that just really came more aware, like, oh, I actually do this a little bit more when I feel like my cup's being poured into by someone.
How would you say that I've filled up your cup in the last... Before, like, you know...
Or just in general?
Yeah.
Well, I think just in general, like, I think I've said it before, like, you're patient. You're patient with me. You understand where I'm at, and, like, you just stay the way you are. Like, you don't change because of it. Like, it's just, like, you just continue that. Yeah. And it's been consistent.
Yeah. I think you're one of my first positive... That's what we were learning today at work for my training. Like, this guy, he basically came in and he kind of was sharing his story, and, like, he actually goes to Cal State LA. But he was in prison. And then no, not that one. Oh.
Okay, keep going.
But basically he was sharing how, like, after prison he wanted to go to school, right? And so he ended up going to Cal State LA, and he's like, never before that, he was like 19 when he got into jail, and then he got out at like 30 something. So it's 40 something. So he was like about 30 years of just like living this lifestyle, right? And he said that when he got out, like, he went into college, and that was the first time he experienced positive relationships. And I'm like, oh, and I reflected on that a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's crazy because you and I think you were my first positive relationship. Like, I saw, like, there was no fighting. There was no, like, ego. There was no, like, judgment. There was no, like, I'm better than you. Or, you know, there was none of that. Most of it was just, like, just us, like, you know, like, coexisting and, like, you know, being respectful, being kind to each other. We created a really safe space for each other, and I think it gave us a lot of strength to leave a lot of toxic things or behaviors that maybe we've been acting on, or become mindful of toxic behaviors that we were engaging in or are still
but working on it, but still there,
but aware. Now we're aware, and like we're willing to do the work, and I think
and how to manage it, because I think it doesn't completely go away, like, because it's been instilled in the person for so long. Overnight. It's not overnight, and even if it doesn't completely change, like, because it just doesn't, because maybe that is actually a part of you, at least you know how to handle it, how to handle certain things, because it's just, you know, sometimes it's just in a person, like some other things, like it's just in you, like that's just who you are, and that's okay, like it's just a matter of knowing how to manage it. I feel like
it's very good.
Keep your composure.
Oh, I know. Shout out Larry.
Keep your composure, because that man
is that man.
That's all we gotta say.
Yeah,
that's all we gotta say.
And yeah, so I think that was definitely how we started season 2.
Yes. Now, next episode was what? I think I know what was next episode. What, guys?
Next episode was Jen.
Oh, Jen.
We posted her, or that came out on
You right.
August 24th. And Jen actually sat in on our first episode. She was in there. You remember? She was watching us.
Oh, yeah.
And if you haven't watched that one, watch it. Jen is our old supervisor turned amiga. And I think it was that one was a very good, like, full circle moment, kind of. That one was because we gave her back.
Oh, we need napkins, huh?
Yeah.
You know what?
Pause.
No. Just get the paper. We'll use that. Not all of it. It was going to be part of our altar.
Oh, it's such a great altar, by the way.
Yeah. Ofrenda.
Ofrenda, right? Yeah. Ofrenda is more like your offering things now.
Oh, okay.
Ofrecer. Ofrender.
Okay. But anyways, so we're gonna use this here.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be an extra. Lined up. You know, kids that line up their toys like this have OCD or ADHD, or their signs of ADHD. My niece does it. I'm like, oh, fucking little bitch, you're gonna.
Why are you putting it there?
Where?
Why are you putting them lined up?
Why?
Where are we gonna put the paper?
First of all, don't talk to me.
I'm just asking. Asking a question.
So where do you want to put them over here?
No, because we're going to use them.
So where do you want me to do with them?
That's why I was separating them.
Where do you want to separate them?
Like right here, some right here.
You want to put it in the middle? So you're saying?
So, yeah, to put the paper in the middle.
Oh, okay. Alright. And then this should be right here.
Yes, ma'am. You got that right. There you go. So yes, full circle moment.
Yeah, I feel like Jen's was like a full circle moment because we were able to reflect with her, like, and give her the tools she's given us. What are you thinking?
That's not cute.
Oh, don't tell me. Just kidding. You don't like it?
I don't like that's the water.
Oh yeah, that's why I covered it multiple times.
Well, why is it watery like that?
Because there's a lot of water in there. It's okay. Just put more brown. You don't like it?
I don't like the way it looks.
That's okay.
No, it's not.
Fine. Look at mine. That's how mine started.
Cause you dipped it without putting it in the water.
No, I did dip. It started off like that.
It all started.
It all started when it was wet.
Whoa!
I'm talking about the fading.
Oh.
I'm sick.
You're sick in the head. Fucking maniacs.
But yes, so I think it was a full circle moment. She gave us a lot. Well, we gave her, I feel like, more than she expected, you know?
Well, yeah, that's what she said. She felt like a full circle moment as well, because she said, you know, I've mentored and like gave you so much at one point in the beginning, and now look at where I'm at. You guys are giving me tools and things that I didn't know of, right? That she doesn't know of, because we're obviously at a different point in life, that things change and there's new ways of thinking, and there's open minds, and that she wasn't aware of. She thought there was only one set way, and that's it. And I think the great thing though is that she's open to hearing it and receiving it and understanding it. And it's like, if you're open to those things, then there's more opportunities for greatness.
Yeah, I think that she also like really supports us, you know, and I know she's always busy, you know, with work and busy. whatever, but like she still, you know, takes the time to, you know, support us and gives us gratitude. And I think that makes us feel good, because it reminds us like we're being supported, we're to continue going, like what we're doing, it matters, you know. It's gonna, like, she believes in us, and I appreciate that, you know, because we're just starting, like, you know, like when we started doing the podcast, like we didn't know where. Oh my god, this is so hard. It's okay. No, but like,
it's okay.
Ew.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, but this is fucking hard.
Okay, but what are you gonna do now?
Get Sam some.
You can't do nothing about it now. We just move on to the next.
As should.
Okay, there's this brush. You have those. You have options. You don't like that?
No.
Why? Don't do that. Don't do what?
Ew. Stop with that tone.
What?
Nah.
You know what that is like, fool? You know how when you tell me, like, I miss you, and like you tell me like things like that? That's how I feel.
Oh.
Crazy,
Stop.
huh? Well, I mean, if it's you, it's you. I know.
What if you like it? Don't stop.
But like, that's how it feels.
You see, amiga?
Yeah, it's drippy. No, man. Never mind. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I do remember with Jen. It was very cute. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got her on. She was like one of the people that like first told us about it, like about, you know, believing in us. She's always believed in us, even before there was a podcast, even before there was a fucking name. Like, she believed in us fully, and I think that really has helped us get to where we're at. Like, we have 112 followers, and I feel like, you know, we've only been doing this for a year, but I'd rather us start these roots off like slowly and gradually, and like really build something, because I think that this is not just like a temporary thing. Like, this is something we want to take.
We building.
Yeah, we building, and like this is not like, this is just the start of it, you know. And so I feel like, and I'm gonna speak for you, amiga, like, we're excited.
Let me speak for myself. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I want to speak for myself.
Nah, go ahead. I allow you to.
that I would say that we have a lot more, you know, goals and talents, and we want to use that, you know, it, because Honestly, even when we were talking about your job, like what you've been doing, like I don't see that, but you're just taking that, and that like takes one lot of courage, and like not a lot of people can fucking handle what you've been handling. Like they would have been dipped, like like
Yeah.
so. I commend you, Omega.
You are you are meant for your own path.
Okay, Instagram timeline.
That's how I learn. I'm telling you, that's how I learn.
All right, the next one was the boys. So it was Jerry, Chris, and C's. Those we met those guys. Well, we met Chris. Like Chris has been our top. Did I paint my face? Yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No, you didn't.
Okay. Chris was like the first person we had met through Hood Raised. Then, by the way, I bought the Virgencita sweater.
Oh, you did? Aww.
Yeah, I
love that.
But
anyway,
anyway,
be out here rocking bead hands.
Love a little virgin.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna look up a picture of a lotus. But yeah, he had been, we've been talking about like doing something together, and like it finally happened, and he brought like, just a set of people that, we could talk to, and I think that's been good to build those connections, I guess, and relationships outside of just you and I.
Well, yeah, on top of that, I feel like
they have the same message.
Well, yeah.
Or
similar. But I feel like the fact that we had guys on there is great to see the diverse part.
Yeah, like that was our
to
intention.
to get into not get into their heads, but allow them to speak on a guy's perspective of things. And I think that was great to know, because although we have similar thoughts, but like it comes out differently. And I think that was the great part of like that, because society be out here,
because we work with a lot of with the one in like our community, just like in our homes, we come from a very male dominated perspective. Like you're supposed to be this and you're supposed to be this. Like even my grandma, like the other day, she was like, "Oh, tú te estás tardando, huh? Like for having kids." And I'm like, and it does make me feel like, oh, maybe like I am 26. Like, should I be having kids? But then I'm just kind of like, well, like it's just not the time. And like, if I had a kid right now, I don't think that I would be able to experience life. I mean, I've already experienced a lot of life, but I still like feel like a kid does add a layer to what can I do, and like but it is another traditional way of thinking to think once you have a kid, your life is over. Like you gotta stop all your dreams, because if I did have a kid, I would like to believe, and I know that I would continue to be me, and at least pursue some of the things that I've always wanted to pursue. Like I'm a mom, yes, but I've been Sylvia longer.
So. Yeah, I think that's a very tough topic, to be honest.
Yeah,
because I think for me it's like, I think now, I mean, I always understood the idea of like there's gonna be sacrifices you're gonna have to make as far as like being a parent, but I think now it's also understanding not to lose yourself as a person, because you are you, but obviously like it's no longer just you, like you have to think about another person. So I think like for me, it's like it's always been like, am I ready to make those sacrifices? Like, am I ready to do that? If I'm not ready to do that, then I'm not there yet. And I think like I just need to know when I'm ready to make those sacrifices. And I think now I feel like if it happens, it happens. Like I can make those sacrifices, but obviously it's not my timing yet. It's just not my timing yet. But I'm not like where I was at before.
And it was like,
no, like no, this is not. But I think now, like, I feel equipped enough, because I'm not obviously perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect as a parent. I'm still gonna learn as a parent. But I feel I'm equipped enough to do things or handle certain things differently than what I would want. Then
how you would have handled it before.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel better about it. Of course.
And because you're creating your own identity exactly. Now, you've created it. You're continuing to create it. You're continuing to create new identities. Mm-hmm. AKA Bonnie.
You're stupid. Shut up. Shut up. We are not going there. That is not being brought up.
Okay. But yes, I think the conversation with the guys was super good, and it also gives us like there's guys out there, there's people out there, there's men out there who are willing to do the same social work or the work with people the same way we do it. You know, it's very humanistic, it's very humanized. It's not like, it's not so like black and white, you know. There's more, they're doing it how we've been doing it. Mm-hmm. And they're men, because a lot of the stuff that we've seen in our work, like there's not a lot of guys in our work, and the guys that are, they're just kind of following the girls lead, but these guys are actually leading. Mm-hmm. You know,
so. I think also the fact that like they're breaking this idea of, I mean, it's still there because it's still part of their probably identity,
and you just like can't go one day
one day to the next, but they are breaking cycles, you know, because they are having conversations of self-care, they are having conversations about awareness. And I think that's the great part, because a lot of males don't have those conversations. And that's another thing, like, you know, coming from where they come from, like it's not normal to have, or it's not common to have those conversations. And that's another thing that I think the other reason why we had them on our episode, to kind of broadcast that, or however you want to say it, like just show that you can do those things as a male. Like, keep your composure, but you know, just work on things.
Very good.
Everybody has things to work on.
And as long as you're aware of the things that you're trying to work on and you're taking action towards it, that's it. Mm-hmm. That is it. And the real gonna recognize it.
Real gonna recognize. For sure. But yeah, that was a good episode.
It was pretty long too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but shout out those guys. Actually, they're on Caesar's on the Netflix show.
Yes.
Yeah, he's on a Netflix show.
Hulu, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's on Hulu. What is it? I don't know what it's called.
These Fools.
These Fools? No, that's These Fools.
Is that These Fools?
No, These Fools is like
This Fool. It's This Fool, I think.
I think this one. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can watch them on that. We knew, but it wasn't something that like, oh my god, like. But it was pretty cool to like to like see that they are doing their thing. I've seen that C's has been doing a lot of interviews, so like that's been cool to watch. And I know that the guys that are doing it, they're actually doing this work. Like they're doing a lot of work with you know, the community and giving back and being advocates. So shout out them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already have filmed this shit. We just the camera stopped recording. So we're gonna try our best to summarize a little bit of what we said. So basically, in that episode, we that was the time when you had said like it was more of, you started becoming more intentional with how you were moving, and doing more reflections on how can you be more like giving.
Yeah, I think just being more aware, and how can I more giving, more purposeful with everything, not lose my spark in things, like keep my spark with everything that I like truly enjoy or love, or find new things that I probably didn't know of that I enjoy doing, and things like that. But I think it's more finding or keeping what I do enjoy, like I guess consistent, or like just keep it going. Being mindful of it and keep it around, because that's what I do enjoy, what I like to do, especially like with work things, like, because I think we get caught up with like work being work, and then like lose like the purpose of work. And I think that's where I was at. That I was like, because I like my job and I like the work that I do, but sometimes, I get caught up with it being work.
The little shit.
Yeah, things like that, and also because other things go on in life that you're like, sometimes feel like you need to attend those things first, and you seem to forget like the other parts of what are meaningful. um so I think that's where I was at in that episode, and it's really helped. I think it's really a thing of like saying things and then putting them into action, and then I think from then on, like, everything's been like little by little just changing, progressing, whatever, however you want to call it.
Yeah, and for sure, I feel like for me, I've seen that you become more intentional with like how you're moving and like what are you saying, how much are you saying, and just being honest. Like, this is who I am. Like, this is just who I am. Like, I'm not gonna pretend to be that. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's kind of a summary of that episode.
Yeah, that episode was good.
The next one was Ashley's episode. And so in Ashley's episode, that one was episode 15.
Hi, welcome back to Hoops and Harmony. I am Celia. I am Ebony. And this is Ashley.
Oh, she's so cute. Yes. October 5th. October 5th.
Oh, no, it's a third.
On October 3rd, he said, he asked me what day it was. October 3rd.
Yeah. So yeah, Ashley's was great too.
It was about friendship.
Yeah, about friendship, boundaries. I think boundaries was a big conversation in there, and how we get caught up with I think people pleasing and giving and very being maybe too understanding. That we seem to forget ourselves.
And I think that's kind of what we talked about, how you are learning to not be so like I'm being mindful of who I want to let into, or like, I can't just give everyone this energy. I can't just be that,
Yeah.
And you're becoming more like
trusting who I'm.
You're trusting more, but you're being mindful at the same time, still taking care, protecting yourself and making sure you're not letting anyone in.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. Like, trusting myself in who I'm trusting.
Knowing that you're going to make the best decision for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of, and we were also saying how, like, our first healthy relationships were each other. Like, like, when we first started going to college, like, that's who our first relationship, our healthy relationships began, And so, and so I think we're now building those on you learning to create your own friendships and like being healthy and like knowing like if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel like this person is filling my cup or making me feel good, like you're just gonna peace out,
bounce.
Because also you don't know anything to anyone.
Nope. Sure don't. And that's all period poo. Nah.
Oh my god. My niece was like saying, period. Period. I'm like, girl, stop.
That's funny. TikTok, I tell you. Yeah. That was that. What was we talking about again?
We talked about that.
Oh, that Ashley's episode, huh?
Yeah, we talked about that in Ashley's episode. I think it was a good episode because Ashley is also like just like naturally really good at talking. Yeah. Like she just knows how to pick up a conversation, where to take a conversation. She knew what we were going to talk about, and she was like asking us questions about boundaries, relationships, like where does that come from? Like, so she did just a great job in like, leading us as well.
Which is great as doing the work that she does, like, because like you have mentioned, like, it's a safe space. So having that person to do that, you know, on top of what she does, it's like cool. Like I can decompress here, and like she knows how to handle it. Like she knows, how to navigate through that, and it's a great skill.
And we were also talking about how like it's so
Coochie
funny,
therapist.
and like it's so funny how like she thinks that you like she says like, oh, you're the like that I'm calm, but you're like
Yeah.
the wild one. And I think we also talked about how like even at work, like you're now trusting spaces to be more yourself, like to be more of the bubbly Ebony, of the Ebony that laughs and is open, and like they get to see that more, and it makes me happy because like I always see it. It's just a part, it's just a part of you that I was thankful to have when you didn't trust a lot of people, probably no one, so like to me, I'm like, oh yeah, like that is just Ebony. To me it's very normal because that's just how we are on a regular basis. But like I think people are now getting to see it more because you're one trusting yourself enough to like, you know what, like it is okay to be me. And
Fully. Fully, because I think people were just seeing one side of me, which is the very protective side, and now it's like being able to be the protective side but fully myself at the same time. And there's a lot of sides to people. There's a lot of sides to me. a lot. But yeah, that was a really good episode actually. What was the next one?
The next one was.
Would it be?
The next one was expectations. It was this one where we.
Oh, that episode.
Nice one.
That episode. That was a good episode. That was a good episode actually. I think that just shows like I think that episode really tells, or I think helps, maybe is the word, us and maybe a lot of people hopefully understand that social media is like not the only thing, and probably most of the time not the real thing. So not to get caught up in all of that, because it will pull you in and put you in this hole and just keep you there. And then you don't see the like other sides and the real sides probably, and like put you in this place that society wants to box you in.
It only gives you one perspective, and it's very biased. Have you ever watched the movie The Nightcrawler?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, fucking! You know what Jake Gyllenhaal is?
Sounds familiar.
He's the main actor at Donnie Darko.
You lost me.
You never watched Donnie Darko?
I don't think so.
Well, you would like that movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark.
Fuck.
All
right.
But in the movie, he talks. He's basically like just to give you the premises of like the movie. He
Okay. All right, keep going.
So basically, he's like this guy. He's just kind of working for himself. He doesn't really got a job, nothing stable, But he gives me like on the spectrum, but really high functioning. Like doesn't really like people though. Kind of like a sociopath or like a narcissist kind of vibes. So this guy, he ends up like seeing a car accident in like the freeway, and he like stops by, just to see like what the fuck, just to stop. And this camera people came out and like was taking a video, and then he was just like a normal person, like he wasn't from he wasn't a news anchor or anything. And then he's like, oh, like what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, I record incidents and I sell them to the media for money. He's like, all right, easy enough, right? Like I could do that. He's a hustler at the end of the day. So, anyways, long story short, he talks about like the media because he's selling these videos to the media, right? So the lady that's buying these tapes is like, you know what, you need to make sure that it follows the narrative that it's crime, like it's black and brown crime happening in white neighborhoods. If it's not, don't take it. And it's happening in LA, and it was kind of crazy because
I think I have.
It was kind of crazy because in the movie, like he's hearing the radio, and then like he has this partner, and the partner is like, oh, like there's a home invasion or something like a robbery, but it's on some 6th and Rampart, and he's like, oh, like nah, nobody's gonna care about a story on 6th and Rampart. That's not news. So like it just kind of like tells you how much the media like
cares,
gives you a certain perspective on like what they want you to think, what they think, you know. So like
is like important.
Yeah, like or whatever story, like whatever is gonna catch someone's attention, and you know they'll know what's gonna catch someone's attention. Something like a fear of like, especially a fear of like white people being in danger is big because you know like that's what the media, you know, they're gonna favor, like a white audience, you know, being protected or being afraid, or you know, keeping that narrative alive that like black and browns are the problem or whatever, you know.
Where white people are in danger, and it's because
brown people are inflicting it, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of goes like that kind of triggered the thought of like you saying how like the media isn't true. So you just gotta always think about like what is this, what are the intention behind what they're saying? Why are they telling me this? Why should I care? You know, and really like thinking about having,
should I care?
Yeah, like having your own like giving your own critical thinking in these scenarios and being like, well, I hear you, but like also here's another perspective, right? Or even talking it out with people. Like I think you and I do a really good job of like when we see things on the media or whatever, we do reflect on it. We're not just like, oh well, yeah, and then we get closed off to it. Like this is how it is, and you know, I never, you know.
Yeah. Agree.
But we do have our own biases. I could say that, like, we are Latinas, so I feel like we have that bias that we're Latinas. Like we can't say like, because we understand that perspective, you know. So if something is happening and it's like a racial tension between Latinos, like we're always gonna be like, oh well, it makes sense what's going on because we have that perspective of like, I understand, like they're Latino going through da 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 because I've been there, you know, or I understand, or my family's been there, so there's more of a, I guess, understanding.
Yeah, so it's all media, it's all highlights or news for the most part.
Just expectations, even in your own life, like especially like that was a big thing that we talked about on that episode, like the expectations that not all relationships look like what is
presented,
is the media is presenting.
Yeah, there's the good, there's the bad, there's the medium, there's, you know. And I think one of the things I've been seeing a lot or coming across is like disconnecting from social media and reconnecting with the real life. Reconnecting with things. And
how do you feel like you've been reconnecting with real life?
Just doing things like, well, I think going back to like I was saying, like, you know, I've been really trying to stay away from it as much as I can. It can be hard because, you know, social media, but I think I just try to like not be on it as much, or like do other things instead. And I think that's what I've been doing, is really being intentional with my energy, and I think it's been really good. Like I said, it's been really good because I have been doing other things that I enjoy and reaching out to people and just bringing the things that I love and enjoy closer to me. So I think that's been the thing with me, and I've always been very like, and I think that's one of the things I say in that episode is like, most of the things I've always been with social media is I don't believe. because it's like it's just one part. So I never like fully see it like cool, it's beautiful, like I love that. But there's another side to this, and I know that. Mm-hmm. So I don't, I could fall into the traps of social media in different ways. But I think I'm just like, yeah, but there's another side. So that's my views on social media. And it's cool. I think I try to use social media a lot more in inspirational ways rather than trying to suck me into like certain trends or certain like things like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's what was your question? Forgot. But
no, like how are you utilizing like or just being mindful of staying in the present moment,
Oh well, yeah.
But you answered it. Okay. I think that's a great intention, and I have noticed that, amiga, and I feel like for me, like I think that I do get sucked in sometimes, and so I'm just now aware, like, okay, I gotta stop, or I'll like literally I'll set a timer, like, okay, I gotta be on for this long, and that's it. And when my timer goes off, sometimes if I'm watching a video, I'm like, okay, once this video is done, I will go. But yeah, even like being with my nieces, like leaving my phone somewhere else while I'm doing something, like I have been doing that. And sometimes I do post, but like sometimes I post and then I'm like out, like I'm not scrolling on Instagram or anything like that. And also what I have been doing has been a lot of preparing, because Instagram can be like very like consuming. Like if you're not being aware of your time on there, like you can get consumed really
TikTok
fast.
is crazy.
But if you're being mindful and be like, okay, I'm gonna go on this to, just look at what's going on, what are the trends, like just like things like that. Because I do think about like, well, I run my mom's TikTok, right? So like I do think about like, okay, what am I doing? And now
for business matters.
Yeah, and so even with our TikTok, like I'm the one that's gonna be running it, right? And so I've really been taking like as much as I've been posting, because I'm like, well, we're about to take a break, so it's gonna be good for us to like revamp, at least just like focus on the social media in these next couple of months, so that, or like I don't know how long we're taking a break, right? For I don't know.
Yes.
Well, we haven't decided.
We'll go back to that.
But anyways, in that time, I feel like that's when I want to really focus on it, because I'm gonna have the time now. Like this is when like we can start that part. It's just one thing at a time. Literally, it's been my thing. One thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
And so right now I'm just focusing on like, okay, filming. Like today I posted a quote because I was really inspired this morning, and I was like, you're right. This is what I need to be doing.
So, I like that too. Gave me Larry June vibes. Yeah, that's very true. I did like that quote today.
I was doing a meditation, and sometimes your quotes, like when you post them, like it reminds me, like it really does. Like I'm just like I look forward to them. So.
Wow, I can't. I love it. It's a Picasso.
It's a Picasso.
Vanessa. That's all Vanessa right there.
What?
It's a Picasso.
She said that.
Yeah. It's just fucking, Vanessa.
So yeah, so that's kind of where I've been at with like social media and stuff, and like being mindful, like, okay, I know all of this is not real. I know that there's
another side.
There's another side, and I don't want to get sucked in. And I know that social media can be beneficial, but like,
of course, it's how you're using it.
It's how you're using it. It's the preparation to know. Okay, am I being gonna be productive, or am I just scrolling mindlessly?
Not that it's a bad thing either, but it's just not too much, and that's the balance. Too much of something is not good. Too much of anything. Yeah. Too much of anything is not good. Whatever it is. Just saying.
So the next episode was We Bleed the Same.
We bleed the same. Shut up, Mozzie.
But this was a good episode because we talked a lot about like that we are just human. That we are have to be like mindful of each other and mindful of where everyone's at. And it's all going back to equity, right, versus equality.
Mm-hmm. Equity versus equality. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody is in the same place. And that even goes for the people that are not mindful of those things. Because sometimes people think they know, but they don't know. And
it's just a lot of assumptions.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
And I think that's the big problem too. Like, we assume a lot, and when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Ass. Nicki Minaj.
Mickey Minaj.
Yeah, and I think that was the, one of the things with that episode is just, a reminder of whoever you are at the end of the day, like, you're still a person. Like, you're still a person, and just because you have some type of either power, authority, or title, like, you're no better.
That goes at the door.
Yeah, you're no better.
Because you're still a human. Like, at the end of the day, like
what gives you power is, like, I feel like it's powerful. Yeah, people give you power. And I think for me, like, when you gain some type of something from me is like the matter of respect. Like, and I think that's big. Like, you don't just get respect, like, you earn it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's true. I'm
motivational.
Damn. But it's true. Like, people just feel, and I think it's a very old way of thinking of like you should just respect me, like, because I say so, or because I'm older. It's like, no, like, you just get respect like that.
And that goes back to even what we were talking about, right? Like, there's so many programs out there, but like, realistically, like, if you're not like being a person, if you're not explaining to someone why this matters, what is this gonna do for you, like, no one's gonna, and that goes back to respect. Like, if you respect someone and you want them to do better, you're gonna give them like not only attention, but also like details, like, why does this matter, why should you care, because you want them to be better. You don't want them to stay the same. And if you want someone to stay the same, like, just like, I don't know, I think people that watch this podcast, to be very honest, are on some type of like healing, some type of knowing, like, you don't treat people like that, like, it's point blank period, but like, there are some people, so I just don't understand, but I kind of do understand. But I kind of do, like, they're just people that like haven't had relationships that are healthy. They don't know healthy, and so they like, whatever anger, whatever ugliness is inside of them, they project onto other people.
Ooh, projection. Projection.
What do you know about projection?
Projection, fool. That's honestly one of the big things, like, because I think at one point in my life I was very like, and what are people gonna kind of say, or what people think, or things like that. And I feel like, as a kid, I didn't know about projection like that. But now, as an adult, like, things that were said to me, or I feel like, were done to me, or things like that as a kid, or even as an adult. But like, I think about it as a kid, is like, it would hurt, and it's like, damn, like, I didn't understand that. Obviously, I would cope with it in my own way, but like, I didn't understand the idea of projection. But now, if like, certain things are said to me, like, it doesn't faze me as much, because I think now I understand this idea of projection, and understand, like, you're just where you're at, and like, I'm where I'm at, and And that's fine.
That's okay.
And that's fine. You know, I'm not gonna try my best not to like get to your level, you know. Obviously it's a work in progress. But I think I'm much better at it at this point. Because I'm just like, oh, okay, well,
that's where you're at.
Yeah, that's
like
just
even with you
at,
with you like when you used to be like, I hate when I say hi to someone and they don't say hi to me.
Yeah.
And now you're just like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
they didn't say hi.
Like they didn't say hi.
That's the day you're having.
Yeah, like you know, and I will pick and choose if I want to say it again later.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny, because I learned that lesson as I was walking, because I used to take walks a lot. You remember we used to walk a lot?
Mm-hmm.
And so in those walks, like, I used to say, no, people would say good morning to me. And I wouldn't respond. Mm. And I just didn't respond because I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
how dare you?
Don't talk to me. Like, ew, stranger danger. You know, like, it was just weird for me for that.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking, I'm like, why don't I want to say hi to them? Like, what bothers me about them saying hi to me? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm afraid. Maybe I'm just not in the mood. And so suddenly I was like, let me just challenge myself to start saying hi back or initiating the hi. And so I would. And then there'd be some people that didn't say hi to me. And I'd be like, oh, it's okay. Maybe they're not there yet. Maybe they don't want to be said hi to. Maybe it's uncomfortable for them. Maybe it's weird for them for someone to say hi to them, you know? Mm-hmm. Like they don't want it. And so that's kind of how I learned my lesson in that regards.
Yeah. I don't even know how I learned my lesson, but
I think you just learn, like, that's just where they're at. Yeah, so I think that's it on equity and how we bleed the same, right? Because although we're all like in different parts of our journey, we all matter at the end of the day. So just having that, learning to accept that everyone's not where you're at. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one is it was the last one we just did. I think that one was a really good, at least for me, it was like one of my favorites because it was like me like knowing I'm gonna be okay. Like throughout these times, like since we started season 2, I have been feeling depressed and like, you know, but I think saying it out loud made me like free myself. Like, oh, it's okay, because finally I said it out loud. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I had been keeping it because I was so afraid to say it. Mm-hmm. And I finally said it and I was like, oh, like, it's okay. And like I really do feel better. Like, you know, their periods, they're not like forever. Like, I think that's something that I think a lot of people get afraid of the word depression because they think that you get stuck there. And you can. Yeah. But I think that I'm very blessed to be around people that like take care of me, that like, you know, check in with me, that like if they know I'm going too deep, like they pull me back, you know, like they make sure like, hey, yeah, you know. And like that's my mom, and like even my dad called me today, and I hadn't talked to him in a while. And so it was just nice to like know, like even in that he still looks out for me and he wants to make sure like, hey, you good, like I'm here for you. Yeah. And I think that makes me feel good.
Makes you feel better.
Mm-hmm. So it's been good. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot fresh, more clear, more prepared, more grounded. But that was that episode for me. I felt like it also like made me feel a lot better. Like, cause even before that episode, like before we filmed, I was in a little bit of a snappy mood.
Snap that. Snapping turtle.
Literally, I was in a
snappy turtle.
I was in a little bit of a mood, you know, but I think you were able to be patient with me and we talked it out, and you like, you know, you affirmed me in the best way you could and know how to, and it's been good.
It's all been.
And then after that we went to the beach. Not that day, but you know. Yeah. And it was nice to, you know, reconnect with each other as friends.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Yeah, because that beach trip was really nice. We went in the morning. I had been wanting to go to a sunrise at the beach.
Although we didn't really see the sunrise, but we saw the sunrise from the other side. Yeah. So it worked.
And the sunrise was still there. Like you could see what was going on.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. It was cool. I really liked it. That episode. What did we talk about in the episode? Oh, we're a unit. I remember. Okay. So yeah. I think it just, allowed us to see the opposite sides of where we're at from last year. I think that was the other thing. I was noticing, that's so funny because I think after that episode I was noticing I think because there was a lot more gloomy days coming in and rainy days, and I was starting to see my pattern come in again. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm being tested right now. Like, I felt like I was being tested. And I was like, okay, like, Ebony, remember where you're at. Like, remember, like, this and that. Although, obviously, it was a battle. I had my moments. But I think I was able to deal with them a lot better. And I think that episode I was able to go back to and just kind of, like, see where I was at. And, like, how I'm doing now. And try to stay where I'm at as much as possible. And I think, I think I was trying to be there for you in that episode. And I think, like, I was trying to remind myself again, like, where I was at. So, yeah, I think that's what that episode did for me. Which is great, because for me, it was meant to happen at that time because I knew where I was going to be in a few days, maybe in a week. I think, I don't know. But we'll see what's up.
I think you've been doing really good.
Yeah. We're all in the works.
And we're all different stages.
Mm-hmm.
We're in different stages. And there's rises and falls and,
bumps and
transformations. But I think for season 3, I think our intention has expanded a little bit more. And so
it's going to. So wait on it.
Wait for it.
Cause we just coming and going up and going up.
Oh, jeez.
No downs.
No downs. Maybe.
But even when they are there, pick them back up.
Okay. I'm gonna we'll do a quote. Do a quote.
Hold on.
Are you almost done with your painting?
No, but I'm really into it right now.
Me too. It's really nice.
Like, really, like, fucking going in. Ooh. Going in. Affirmation time.
What's a good color to outline here? What's a good color to add?
Red.
Really?
No, you don't.
Okay, I like red.
Very contradicting. Okay. I like.
Because red represents grounding.
Does it?
Yeah.
What's it looking for? Affirmation. Okay. It says, I am a strong and beautiful person. I am a strong and beautiful person. I'm just taking in the words. because I think like strong is like very masculine, and beautiful is like very feminine. So I feel like in that affirmation there's this balance idea. And I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's just a reminder, like you can step into your soft side, and like, you know, when your feminine side needs to come out or you feel it's right to come out, it will come out. So you're both. You're not just one. You're both. It's just a matter of time when one should or needs to come out, or when you feel it's right to bring it out. You're reminding yourself, or reminding myself, or anyone who needs a reminder.
Yeah, I think for that one, it just reminds us, like, even just thinking about what we've talked about, you know, like really like stepping into, like, yes, we are troubled, and yes, we have our own stuff, but like at the end of the day, like, we still rise, you know. Mm-hmm. Like we don't stop and like fall victim to like
a circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stay the victim forever.
Yeah, because you can have a little moment of like of that, but you know, you gotta rise, pick yourself up from your bootstraps. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what we've been doing, you know, like I think that I'm in a better place now. I'm feeling a little bit more balanced. I'm also learning boundaries like beautifully. Like I would say, like my boundaries, like I used to feel like I'm just like whatever, like willy nilly, like, but now I'm like aware of like this is what I need and this is what I am, and you know, I'm just like putting into action a lot of the things that I've literally prepared for, like, you know, in my meditation or in like in my yoga and like just things like that. Like I'm literally preparing so that like I don't you know, come I don't half empty and like start saying yes to things that like I'm not ready for. Mm. You know, or becoming and knowing that like I am valuable and I am whatever, you know, and like, and so I'm just really stepping into my power and like, and it comes from being a woman, like it is powerful.
Mm-hmm. Using certain energies when needed. Mm-hmm. When asked of you, when challenged you.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of true what you said. Like you're being challenged, but as long as you're aware of like how much you want it,
you're gonna get it. You're gonna let it go.
And it's also, to be strong, you have to also be graceful. You have to like, okay, when do I have to surrender? When can I say I can't? That's all I can do. You know, I can't pick up no more. I can't be no more because I've done all that I can.
Now me. And there's strength in that too. There's strength in all of that. Because just as it is to be everything and all for others, it is for yourself too. So you get sucked in.
Ew.
Nah, don't start, fool. Don't start.
Well, don't make noise.
What you mean? So you can only say things and not like do the other stuff?
Okay. Soy una mujer de Dios.
Cállate.
But I think we're gonna leave it there. I'm about to be done with this stuff. Yeah, I think I'm really relaxed right now.
Yeah, I think I am too.
I'm really relaxed.
It looks like a home.
It does, oh my god.
I know what I'm gonna add. A little Wait, should I? Yeah, I should. But yes, we'll go ahead and leave it there. This was great. I love it.
Okay, do you want to say your what? Describe your painting. I'll do mine while you finish that. So I did a lotus flower. Every time I meditate, it's called easy seat or it's called when you sit crisscross applesauce. It's called easy seat or sit with.
So it's not crisscross applesauce. They lied to me this whole time. I'll tell you.
Or it's sit with ease. So it's easy seat or sit with ease.
See. Shout out see.
Shout out see. And so I think about lotus and like how the lotus comes from the mud and like no matter your darkest days, they make you the most beautiful. And so I think about a lot of that, and that's kind of been my, and so for the month of November, I want to move with a lot of grace. I want to be balanced. I want to be prepared. And yeah, and, my lotus reminds me to find a place of stillness to bring me back. And that's where I'm at. But this is just November, but I hope to take it on and like nourish it a lot so that in December I have more wisdom and more and so on and so forth.
Okay. My turn. So mine is little plantitas in the casita. Because I don't actually have plantitas in my casita.
You have
I have them outside, but they're my grandma's. So, because I don't really know how to take care of plants like that. This is my plant that I take care of.
Oh, man.
So, I think this is a representation of where I feel like I'm at right now. Like, I feel like I'm right here, right? But I think, like, it's taken time, obviously, to get here. But I know that I'm going to have moments of these and these. Right?
Or even like these.
Or even like, what is that? The windows? Yeah. We'll have moments of windows?
Yeah, you know how like when you were in the car sad and you just look at the window and like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm, see, like this, looking out the window. Right? So, but either way, like, I'm there, right? And I think.
There's levels,
exactly. There's levels of where we're at. And it's just like, even if I am here, I'm humble enough to know that I could still be here and I could still be here. Right? But either way, like, there's seeds, like we talk about, there's seeds that have been planted. So either way, I'm still gonna grow. Still gonna rise regardless.
Still I rise.
And yeah, and I chose some flowers.
I love it. It looks so cute to me.
I love sunflowers. I kind of like these colors.
It
gives me a house in Mexico vibes.
Oh, very cute.
I want to go to Mexico. Kind of want to go for Dia de los Muertos one day.
Oh, we should definitely go. Yeah. Michoacan to see all the butterflies land.
Yeah. So pretty. I love it. I love yours.
Thanks.
We out here flower girls.
Yeah, we flowering. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.